Which celebrity claimed to no longer be famous after a plagiarism scandal? Who gave up acting for rap, only for it all to be revealed as a joke? Keep watching for those weird stories and more. In 2000, Barbra Streisand announced a farewell tour, and tickets sold like hotcakes. According to ABC News, she told the audience at her sold-out final Madison Square Garden show, "It feels like time to say goodbye to this part of my life." Instead, Streisand planned on building a barn house, spending more time with her husband, James Brolin, and focusing, quote, on acting, directing, and recording albums. But as it later turned out, the singer was not yet done with live entertainment. When Streisand went back on tour in 2006, Daily News columnists Rush and Malloy reported that angry fans who paid top dollar for Bab's 2000 shows were considering, quote, a class action suit against the legend for tricking them into thinking they were seeing her for the final time. It's unclear if any such lawsuit arose, but since then, Streisand hasn't advertised any of her concerts as her swan songs, and the legendary icon continued selling out her concerts in a heartbeat. After all, her fans can't be sure which one of her tours will truly be the last before she retires for good. Considering the fact that her compilation, Release Me Too, hit shelves and streaming services in 2021, it's safe to say Streisand isn't actually retiring anytime soon. Early on Christmas Day in 2013, Beliebers around the world lost their holiday spirit when they read Justin Bieber's tweet, "My beloved Beliebers, I'm officially retiring." According to E!, the baby singer hinted at quitting the music industry a few weeks before as well. It could be that his sudden decision to retire at the young age of 19 had something to do with the rough patch he was going through in his private life. His on and off relationship with Selena Gomez, which was speculated to be an elaborate publicity stunt too, was especially turbulent around the time he made his shocking holiday announcement. Just a few short weeks later, he also got a DUI in Miami. Of course, it soon became clear that the Biebs never intended to actually retire on that fateful Christmas morning. And as years went by, the Let Me Love You singer started using a much more thoughtful voice on social media. JB's lifestyle doesn't lend itself to publicity stunts. Instead, he cleaned up his bad boy act and appears focused on music. He released 2 albums, Changes and Justice, and the EP Freedom in the span of 13 months and planned a 2022 world tour for the latter. In 2002, Stephen King told the Los Angeles Times that he was done writing books as soon as he finished his then in-progress projects, 5 books and an ABC miniseries. "You can either continue to go on or say I left when I was still on top of my game." Since he's one of the most prolific authors of our time, he also pointed out the danger of ending up repeating himself and recycling his old material. The sudden decision to retire came 3 years after King's nearly fatal accident when he was hit by a van while taking a walk. He once recollected the experience on Twitter. "As I lay unconscious in the hospital, the docs debated amputating my right leg and decided it could stay on a trial basis. I got better." Fans of the legendary scribe know that he continued churning out literature for decades.
Well, I can't figure it out. I mean, it's kind of masochistic, but hey, it pays the bills, you know what I'm saying?
And his entire outlook on when he'll put away the pen for good seems to have changed. He told Stephen Colbert in The Late Show in 2019,
"God will tell me when to retire."
He added, "But until then, I mean, this is the best job in the world because nobody can make you retire at a mandatory age." In 2008, Joaquin Phoenix and other A-listers attended a charity event in San Francisco, where he told an extra reporter he was retiring from acting to pursue a career in rap music. He said, "I want to take this opportunity, also to give you the exclusive and just talk a little bit about the fact that this will be my last performance as an actor." Little did the world know that he was actually in character for a role in I'm Still Here, a mockumentary directed by his celebrity friend, Casey Affleck. Not only was it a genius publicity stunt that ultimately served to promote the mockumentary, it was also an elaborate Borat-like prank that didn't stop there. In 2009, he visited The Late Show with David Letterman wearing sunglasses and mumbling incomprehensibly. And while Phoenix is no stranger to making controversial TV appearances, even Letterman bought the act.
You're not going to act anymore?
No.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know.
In 2010, Affleck cleared the air when he explained to the New York Times that he, quote, never intended to trick anybody and that his former brother-in-law gave the performance of his career. Miley Cyrus rose to fame as a child star, most notably on Hannah Montana, portraying a teenage superstar. But as the show crept to its end, the Wrecking Ball singer started transforming her public image. After releasing 2 studio albums with her own music, Breakout in 2008 and Can't Be Tamed in 2010, the multi-hyphenate boldly told E! That she was done after the latter, adding, "I just want to work in movies. That's what I like and that's what I want to be doing." Cyrus took the Hollywood plunge with a leading role in The Last Song. Although the film was a critical flop, Cyrus did meet her ex-husband Liam Hemsworth on the set. She starred in 2 more bombs, LOL and So Undercover, before deciding to go back to singing and performing.
I'll never be who I was yesterday. In a way, every night before I go to sleep, I say goodbye to myself in a way.
She said in Miley the Movement, a documentary about her return to the music industry, "I thought after my show I was going to act. I went and I did 1 movie and I came back and said, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to do music for the rest of my life." Never say never, Miley. Her second retirement claim turned out to be premature too. In 2019, the Malibu singer starred in a Black Mirror episode titled Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. When asked about his decision to retire in 2013, director Steven Soderbergh told Vulture, "I won't be directing cinema for lack of a better word, but I still plan to direct theater stuff, and I'd do a TV series if something great were to come along." As noted by the Los Angeles Times, the Oscar winner casually mentioned calling cut on his film directing career in 2008. But rumors about his retirement really picked up steam in 2010, when Matt Damon said the director was, at the time, kind of exhausted with everything that interested him in terms of form. Damon's foreshadowing came true when Soderbergh retired from directing movies after 2013's Behind the Candelabra. He told EW that after his retirement, he focused on painting. He also picked up a TV project, The Knick, a period drama that ran for 2 seasons. But 4 years later, the director made a spectacular return to the big screen with Logan Lucky, another heist movie. Country music star Garth Brooks decided to retire at the height of his career. In 2000, he announced he was hanging up his guitar until his 3 daughters graduated high school, a time frame of approximately 14 years. The retirement announcement also took attention away from the fact that he was divorcing his first wife, Sandy Mall. In 2014, when his youngest child decided to go to college in Nashville, he got the band back together and started touring again. But it wasn't his first time back on stage. Not only did Brooks continue playing charity shows throughout his near retirement, but he also recorded a project for Walmart in 2005, the Tennessean reported. He also performed 187 shows as part of his residency at Wynn Las Vegas from 2009 to 2014. The ever-so-shady Shia LaBeouf's fake retirement came following accusations of plagiarism in late 2013.
I just feel judged and like I'm like an outsider.
According to The Guardian, it all started when he was accused of plagiarism by comic artist Daniel Clowes. In 2012, LaBeouf directed and starred in his very own short movie called HowardCantor.com, but it turned out to be awfully similar to Clowes' comic Justin M. Damiano. Rather than making peace with the author, LaBeouf escalated the conflict by tweeting a series of apologies that were originally written by other celebrities. The whole thing seemingly culminated with his January 10, 2014 tweet, "In light of the recent attacks against my artistic integrity, I am retiring from all public life." Days later, LaBeouf returned to public life to attack Jim Carrey for his joke about the plagiarism scandal at that year's Golden Globes. EW reported that series of tweets and apologies ended with another odd tweet: "I am not famous anymore." Of course, LaBeouf was also gearing up to promote the scandalous indie flick Nymphomaniac at the time. Nicki Minaj wrote in a since-deleted tweet in 2019, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now." Fans and haters alike instantly started wondering whether she meant what she wrote or if it was a publicity stunt. The Chun-Li rapper wasn't at her most popular at the time and was on the heels of postponing the North American dates of her 2018 tour. Critics claimed Minaj delayed the tour due to low ticket sales. But Minaj explained on Twitter that with the delay of the album, so came the delay of the tour to perform it. Whether the explanation about her 2018 tour was true or not, Minaj headed back to Twitter the next day with an apology, saying, "I'm still right here." She called the retirement tweet, quote, abrupt and insensitive, and promised a bigger explanation at some point. That explanation came a month later in a chat with the Shade Room, when she admitted she was only musing about whether or not she would record a fifth album. While the star has yet to release said album, tentatively titled NM5, the family part of her retirement tweet was true. She got married to husband Kenneth Petty in October 2019. Minaj gave birth to their baby boy in September 2020. Jay-Z released his first studio album, Reasonable Doubt, in 1996. And kept releasing one record per year until 2003. But then, with 8 studio albums under his belt, Jay-Z announced he was retiring from making hip-hop studio albums. Asked by the New York Times if it was all a marketing ploy, the rapper got defensive, saying, "Give me a little more credit than that. I could think of other ways to get attention." And so, he went out with a bang, putting together an outstanding farewell show at Madison Square Garden. Throughout the night, fellow superstars including Missy Elliott and Beyoncé joined him on stage. Still, Jay-Z remained busy after his alleged retirement from making albums. He became the CEO of Def Jam Recordings and partial owner of the New Jersey, now Brooklyn Nets. But a few years later, he got the bug again and headed back into the studio. In 2006, he released his comeback album, Kingdom Come, and in hindsight is well aware of how ridiculous his initial decision to retire looked. He told Entertainment Weekly it was the worst retirement in history. Emma Watson has been a movie star since she was 11 years old, so it's no wonder that she claimed she was ready to leave acting behind by the time 2009 rolled by. She told Teen Vogue, "Until something comes along that I feel as strongly about as I did Hermione, like I felt that it was life or death. I don't want to act again." It turned out that it didn't take long for the Harry Potter star to be called to her craft again. In 2012, she starred in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. While she never completely abandoned her acting career, she did put it on the back burner. Instead, she focused on humanitarian activism. In 2014, she was named a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. Following Watson's own retirement stunt, the media seems to have picked up the ball for her, with speculation of her exiting the industry repeatedly circulating, even as she headlined huge projects, including Beauty and the Beast in 2017 and the award-winning Little Women in 2019. In May 2021, Watson tweeted, "Dear fans, rumors about whether I'm engaged or not, or whether my career is dormant or not, are ways to create clicks each time they are revealed to be true or untrue." In a follow-up tweet, she reassured her followers that no news doesn't automatically mean that she's retiring. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebrities are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.